Hi, this is Antoine from Ulula and also team lead for Matokeo. Let me start by sharing my screen. So Matokeo is the impact monitoring platform for the ASM sector in DRC. And Matokeo, which means impact in Swahili, gives a voice to artisanal miners and their communities to support more cost-effective and reliable impact data collection in the mineral supply chains. It is a collaboration between Ulula, which is an award-winning data collection platform, and EPIS, which has produced the most comprehensive maps on DRC. And the problem we are solving comes from the adage that if you can't measure it, you can't improve it. And that's indeed the case in DRC, where 1 million people are estimated to live in modern slavery, and about 5.5 million people have been internally displaced. And against that background, the dearth of environmental, social, and human rights impact data has been plaguing any effort to really change the situation. And the cost of due diligence has disincentivized ASM formalization, and indeed the coverage of monitoring and due diligence and certification efforts have been limited as a result. So the idea of Matokeo is simple in some ways. It starts with the idea that you can collect data directly from the people and do that for the people. So the first step is texting Matokeo. You will be able to get pricing information about the price of gold or coltan, and in exchange for that, join a panel where you can answer some questions about the impact of ASM on your life. We are also counting on the NGOs that we've been working with over the years at EPIS and Ulula to help us further enroll more miners and communities. And when people respond to Matokeo's questions, they will also be able to get mobile credit incentives. The second step is to answer questions that have been derived from international standards through automated surveys that scale up and are available in any language free of charge, and then to also receive broadcast information generated by our chatbot and technology. And the last bit is to really pull all that data back into our platform so that it can be analyzed and distributed, shared with our customers in the private sector, in governments, and so on and so forth. So the audience we're trying to reach is really around the 2 million miners that are in the DRC, as well as the negociants and the NGOs, because they form the microcosm that will be paramount to any change and any improvement of ASM impact on the ground. And that is going to be facilitated by working with customers from the private sector that are sourcing from DRC and that are investing in due diligence efforts. And all the organizations around that sphere, such as ISKI or industry associations like RMI or LBMA, that can also help change the game, as well as hands in hands with government. The impact we're trying to reach is really to build the most robust citizen-centered database on human security and environmental impact in Congo, and doing that by reaching over 200,000 miners over the next 3 years and lowering the cost by half of doing so. And we will generate impact because by collecting data on key outcomes such as forced labor, child labor, gender violence, and mercury use, we are going to empower better identification of risks, of needs, and measure the effectiveness of some of the interventions that the different actors are putting on the ground. And we feel that this is a model that can also be replicated and scaled to other countries. We're presenting Matokeo in an environment where we combine the technology that has been specifically deployed and designed to collect data on supply chains, unlike some other technology partners that are also using the mobile data collection, and the expertise that EPIS has on DRC and on ASM, so that we really bring the best of these tools to help implement the standards that have been deployed by the OECD and CRAFT. And our intention is really to provide that data to the broad ecosystem and not to create an alternative certification scheme, which in our view is not necessarily the best way of maximizing the potential of Matokeo. The opportunity we see is that ASM is around represents probably about $1 billion and is largely seen as a problem, and we feel it can be turned into an opportunity because the due diligence and a market is at well over $4 billion, and there's a big demand for ESG data that's ongoing, and that's against a changing paradigm where sanctions from the U.S. Customs or EU call for mandatory non-financial reporting are really going to increase the demand for better data, and that's exactly what Matokeo is providing by connecting directly with the Congolese miners and creating a better sense of what is going on the ground. The business model we have is really around the creation of a freemium model where we are targeting the companies that are filing at the SEC or that are subject to the European Union law, as well as in the medium term, financial industry, ESG issuers, etc., by selling them data analytics subscriptions sold by seats, by minerals, and by regions, and working more at the wholesale level with ESG aggregators and other analytics retailers. It's important to keep some of the resources accessible for free in order to provide an overview and generate demand into the work that we do, and to enable access to civil society organizations that need to be able to use the data for change on the ground. The reason why we think we can deliver is because we've been working with EPIS on this for the past 18 months, and we've tried and tested that model. EPIS also is doing that, has been doing work on ASM in the DRC for well over 10 years, and Lula has been collecting data in more than 25 countries for the past 6 years and reached significant scale. And we can grab market share because we already have a client that's paying for that, and we are very well connected to the network of early adopters in the PPA and to sales channels, partners like Ascent or Living Sources, etc., so that we can really distribute our product effectively and get to scale. There are risks associated to doing business in DRC that we feel we can manage because we have been on the ground and we have run that experiment for the past 2 years very specifically. So we can address some of the technology risk and make it inclusive. We can validate the data, and on the contrary, we have developed a tool that is really robust to the sort of health crises and political risks that often are emerging in this context. So we really have a tool that can add value in these new normal times. The team and organizations have accomplished a lot already, and that's why they are poised to deliver on Matokeo. Lula has raised over $2 million and has been recognized by a number of competitions. And EPIS is a leading independent research institution on the ASM that has also been widely recognized, and most lately by Apple in its supplier responsibility report. Our next step is to raise $500,000 from a mix of funders, and so that we can really change the way we collect data by putting miners first. We have an upcoming report in September 2020, and we can use that to build momentum to really leverage the infrastructure that's already there to quickly generate new data and build up on what we have. We feel we really deserve that investment because we have the mature technology, we have the expertise, and we have iterated the approach on the ground. And finally, I mean, we really have the unique team of multidisciplinary individuals in Bukavu, in Belgium, in Canada, that ranges from software to anthropology, to really deliver that type of new type of data collection, grounded in direct engagement with the Congolese people so that they directly benefit from it. Thanks.